Hello, this is Kiana Clark. I talked to you, I think it was Friday.
Yes. Hi, Sienna. Thank you for calling me back. I got your message. Sorry I missed you. I was in a meeting when you called, and then my day ended. So I apologize that I haven't been able to get in touch with you until today. So thanks for calling me and beating me to it. So we didn't get to finish our conversation or really figure out a plan of action. So since there's been a few days that have passed, how can I help?
Yes. Are you able to be an advocate? Am I able to get an advocate through the Texas Council because there's police corruption and I have multiple false arrests? So I don't know how to combat that when I'm blacklisted from services in this area.
Sure. So what kind of advocacy are you hoping to receive?
Uh, well, it would depend on what you're able to give me. I don't know. I don't
So
have
when
the education.
when I spoke last week, you mentioned like filing charges for police corruption and that sort of thing. That is not something that our agency does.
Okay, well, if you're an advocate, I would just wanted direction and an advocate to give me direction on how to get the consequences. I mean, the average person would know how to combat police falsely arresting someone multiple times.
Mm-hmm. An option that you could try is contacting the ACLU just in regards to false arrest and just having your civil liberties violated. Have you contacted your an office through that agency?
Well, I thought advocates could call the police department and, kind of check and see why they're not investigating crimes and help with the corruption and give avenues to which if there is police corruption. For example, if a police officer is an abuser,
Mm-hmm.
where does a woman go to get protection?
Sure. So in that type of example, if a woman is being abused by a partner who is also in law enforcement, we typically refer them to a local family violence program. So I know you mentioned that you have not had much luck with your local program. And some of the options I mentioned to you last time where I could either give you some phone numbers for programs that are outside of the area, or I can give you some, or I can connect with a program in the area of Dallas and see if there is someone that can support you and offer you some help, even though I know you've had some challenges getting connected with those services. So are either of those two options something that would be helpful?
I thought that you guys investigated to see why they were denying services. So if I'm blacklisted, there's evidence of that. I thought that you were a help or advocate and you help people that were getting
Yes, we
denied
do.
services. Okay, well then, yeah, that's what I'd like. I'd like some research to be done and investigation so it proves that I'm blacklisted. But what happens is I can routinely fall through the cracks with many agencies, and I'm not given the
Yeah,
proper services that they offer for some reason. They give
sure.
me minimal
So,
services and sabotage my help at multiple different places and locations.
okay.
Well,
So I'm
organizations
happy
rather.
to call a local program and see if they're able to help and go from there. Now, um, with a local program like a Dallas program, is that what are you hoping to get from them in terms of services? Are you needing shelter? Are you wanting counseling? Or you just want them to focus on the police corruption?
Okay, do you offer services there? We haven't gone into the services because what happens routinely, I call place to place, and every
Yes.
place that I call refers me to another place. That's a form of denying me services. So everywhere I call, they're denying me services at that location and have me call other places, which is a never ending
Mm-hmm.
revolving door. So I'm not really
Yeah.
getting a lot of any assistance from you. I don't know what you're willing to do at your location instead of refer me to other assistants.
Sure. So our agency is a statewide coalition. We don't have a shelter. We don't do like legal representation. We don't do counseling. We do more statewide level work. And I will say that the lack of services that are available is definitely a statewide challenge just in terms of resources that are available to all survivors. So oftentimes the response that you'll get from a program, well, if you're seeking services, they may say, our shelter is full, but you can try this shelter or the next shelter and see if they have anything available. And that's just kind of the way it works. If you're seeking shelter specifically, but you still haven't really told me what exactly you're looking for.
Yeah, I'm looking for you. I'm sorry. I'm on my lunch break. So the thing that is a revolving door is I don't get services from the party that I'm speaking with. So I can't tell you. I'm asking to know what services you offer. How can you help me? And you keep asking me what help do I need? That's what an advocate's for. That you push me in the direction to where if you know that my abuser has police is affiliated. Well, I don't know exactly what's going on, but he's controlling the police department. You haven't given me any suggestions on what I need to do, and that's what I need an advocate for.
Right.
So I routinely keep asking
Definitely,
you.
I think having an advocate would be super valuable and helpful. And maybe meeting with an advocate in person would also be really helpful. That is not something that our agency does. We typically refer a survivor to a local program so that they can navigate their specific situation locally with the services that are available locally. So again, I'm happy to find a program who might be able to sit down and chat with you and figure out what it is you need, how you might be able to help. They might be able to help you so that you can get more one-on-one direct service on a regular and consistent basis. Now, again, I know you mentioned that you have been denied services, and I'm happy to call, like I mentioned last week, like the Family Place or Genesis. If you want me to try one of those two, just an example, if there's somewhere else you want me to try, I'm happy to do that. To see if there's someone available that I can connect you to meet with. Is that something that would be helpful?
Okay, so what can you do there? So the only thing that you're able to do with this agency is to call and get me services at the other agencies. There's nothing that you do, that the services that you provide. I'm wanting to know because, like I said, it's a revolving door, me getting referred to other locations. So I want to know what exactly can you do there? What services can you provide? So the only thing that you can provide is trying to get me services from the Family Place and Genesis, which is already denied services. Are you able to do anything to get these people the consequences because I'm getting blacklisted and railroaded for denying me services? Are you able to do anything regarding that or report that because I'm getting exploited and blacklisted? My police won't do an investigation for many different things.
I'm happy to call those agencies and see, what the story is or what the issue is around getting you services.
What about for the police department? Can you do anything that they're refusing investigation or refer me to a location because police are corrupt? Multiple agencies intervening in me intervening in me reporting my spoof calls and how I've reported that I don't think that I'm calling the real agencies because they keep denying me services. I don't know what's going on. So are you able, I went in to report it to the cell phone companies, police intervened in me reporting that. It's an unbelievable story. I mean, it is amazing. You have to see it to believe it. But I do have spoof calls. I call and then they're not really the real people. So, but I'm not, so what can you do when there's police corruption? So you're saying that the only agency is the domestic violence places that can get me, where do I call when the law enforcement is corrupt and falsely arresting someone? And I went to the DA and they're corrupt too and made me leave and wouldn't even take the report on their own case.
Mm-hmm. I'm not sure. I mean, you've mentioned you've filed reports to internal affairs. It's kind of outside my realm of expertise. So I don't know that I have an answer for you. I'm happy to look into it and see but I don't know the answer. So I'm not sure. And that's kind of outside of the realm of the work that we do.
Okay, so that it's outside of the realm that everyone that I've communicated with does. That's why I've been in it so long. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
getting any resources for if there's police corruption. So it keeps
Mm-hmm.
consistently keeps happening. And I'm getting denied services. I'm blacklisted. It's brilliant. No one would ever believe my story. You have to see it to believe it. No one would ever believe that I called these places for years and they're all referring me to other locations and sabotaging my services and covering for the crimes low key.
Mm-hmm.
So,
So again, the things that I can do for you right now is I'm happy to connect you to an advocate that you can meet with that's outside of the Dallas area, since you are experiencing challenges with your local program, if that's what you would like me to do.
well,
Or
once
I'm
again,
happy.
okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead and tell me. We've already went over that. What I'm concentrating
Right.
on more is what you can offer. So the only thing that
Okay.
you can offer me is to call these other programs. What about? I thought you
Correct.
were going to see if I was getting railroaded. You don't check into that. They told me that you could check and see with these organizations. I need a witness that I'm getting railroaded and for all these places. It's not just those two places. There's dozens of places that have been denying me services. So I need some kind of witness, but the advocates and everyone that's not denying services keep covering for my experience.
Mm-hmm. So we, our agency provides support, education, and training to domestic violence service providers or family violence service providers across the state. When we had our conversation last week about like following up or checking in with the existing programs who had denied you services, I didn't feel like I had explicit consent from you to contact those agencies, so I didn't make any phone calls. If that's something you want me to do, I'm happy to do that. I know you've mentioned you've called a lot of different agencies. Our coalition kind of oversees the funded family violence service providers who are funded by Health and Human Services Commission, so HHSC. So those are the ones that we can sort of call and support and talk to about services with you. But if it's like a program or a service provider that's kind of outside of the realm of domestic violence, then I mean, I'm happy to call and chat with them, but we don't really have much control over what they do or how they interact with you, if that makes sense.
Okay. So are you saying that I'm not, you can assist me with getting services that have been denied? This is the Texas Council of Family Violence. Can you assist me with getting references on if there's police corruption?
Like I said, no. Figuring out or navigating a police corruption type of a report is outside of my expertise.
Yeah,
if
that's
you would
what.
like me to contact the local program in Dallas.
Well,
The
if
two
the
that I've
Texas Council
mentioned,
of
I'm
Family
happy to call.
Violence, how do you
Okay.
help with the family violence? We've already got addressed that you're willing to contact the same places that are bribed. We've addressed that. But I want to know, how do you help with the family violence, the Texas Council of Family Violence? How do you help with that? Because I have been reporting that and getting removed, trying to do a protection order, and I have false arrest. So if you're aware of that, I'm not quite sure how you assist with Texas Council of Family Violence if you're not willing to give me any education or resources regarding that. False arrest is a form of family violence. I thought. False arrest, blacklisting me, railroading me to where I can't escape the harassment and abuse, trying to get my cell phone on in this crisis, and the cell phone provider is corrupt, along with the police department removing me for trying to get my phone on. That I had the bill I had paid 2 times that one in 1 month. I never did get my money back for it. So if you're the Texas Council of Family Violence, we haven't addressed any of the issues.
Mm-hmm. So we train and educate service providers, like direct service providers. We also do prevention work, and we do policy and legislative work on changing laws and helping programs develop internal policies and procedures. We don't do direct service. Again, the issues that you are bringing forward would best be resolved by a program locally. You need an advocate locally to go through all of your reports, to sit down with you and have a conversation.
Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry, I'm pressed for time because I'm on lunch break. I do know this, but I want solutions because I'm pressed for time. What are the solutions?
Right. So,
I did give you permission last time to call the bribed places that have been denying me services and that I've reported to the police,
sure.
that the police
so
covered
then
for.
Let me just clarify with you. I will call Genesis and I will call the family place and chat with both of those agencies. What they will do is they will want to call you and confirm that they can have a conversation with me. So is it okay that I give them your phone number and your name and have a conversation, and then they can call you and get that permission to work with me?
Yes, that is okay. So I just wanted to confirm.
How about we do that? And then
I just wanted to confirm that is I'm giving you my permission again. So I just wanted to confirm that that's the only thing that you're willing to do is call the bribed places. You're not willing to give me any resources or investigate the false arrest or the resources for me to report police corruption or organizations for women that have abusers that with police affiliation or that are police departments are getting controlled by. You're not unwilling to give me anything. Just call the bribed places and ask them to give me services that they've been denied. That's the only service you're willing to give me?
I don't know that language is accurate. I don't have the knowledge or the resources around filing or handling police corruption cases. It's just not, it's not something that we typically work around. So I can look into some other additional national resources around victims and survivors of domestic violence whose perpetrators are engaged with law enforcement, and I can give you those agencies' numbers. But again, it's not something that we typically do. But I'm happy to look for some agencies that do provide that type of support. I can call you back after I talk with those two agencies and have a couple of referrals around the law enforcement stuff.
Okay.
Does that sound like a good plan?
That sounds, but okay, I'm concerned once again. So you will give me some references. This is what the Texas Council of Family Violence will do is give me references, and you will call the other places that are bribed and try to get services from them. But as far as you giving me services and doing an investigation to investigate these places that have been denying me services, you can't do that.
I told you I would contact the local program to see if they're able to provide you services. We do not investigate the police. That's not.
No, the programs. What's happening is I'm getting blacklisted and railroaded. Okay. So the evidence of all of that is being hidden. I'm trying to obtain the evidence and show, but the organizations keep covering for it along with the police department and multiple other different agencies. So there's no paper trail because no place is willing to give it to me because they keep covering for it. So if you investigate the organizations, which there's dozens that have denied me services, I've been removed places by law enforcement, pushed and shoved just for trying to get services. So if I'm reporting that to you and you're the Texas Council of Family Violence, I don't really see a lot that you're doing outside of calling other organizations and passing me on. It's like passing the buck, and that's the only reason why I'm concerned is that's how my abuse goes. The buck has been passed for years, keeping me trapped in it.
My goal is to get you connected with a program to help you, and for them to help you locally. So I'm gonna start there and go from there. The other question I have for you was, you mentioned that you have a social worker that you're working with.
No, I don't. No, I don't.
Okay, so you're not working with that person anymore.
No, I don't. It's like she's denying services. So I told you that
Okay.
I need a social worker. So if you can find me a
Okay.
social worker or someone like
Right.
that, or someone that a name of a person, if you could make contact with someone with their name and information that is willing to give me services,
Mm-hmm.
because it's been getting denied for years. So back
Okay.
to what I was
Let
saying,
Let me start
you
with those
provide
two
advocacy
things.
there
Those
too,
two
right?
things, and then
You
I'll
provide
call you
support
back.
systems there
Okay.
too. You're a support system too, right?
Right. So let me work on those three
Okay,
things, and
so
then
you're a
I will
support
contact you
system,
back.
so
Okay.
you can do that, right? If you're a support system for the victims,
Do what?
you are a support system for the victims.
Correct.
Okay, well then you have you as a support.
Again, I don't do direct service. We don't do as I mentioned previously, what would be the most beneficial is to connect with a local advocate who can
See, the
navigate your.
locally they're bribed. That's what I keep
Okay.
reiterating. So if I can get a place that maybe is outskirts, do you provide services? That's what I'm asking. Can you
Right,
be a
and I
support
said no,
system?
we
Oh,
do
so you
not.
can't be a
So
support system because it said that online that you provide support and other different things that you're really not covering right now.
I'm happy to connect you with a local program. These types of cases that we get are best resolved with an advocate that serves the area locally.
I'm not requesting that. If you have the services there, I'd like for you to not deny the services. I don't know what you offer because you're really not telling me. I like for to
I've,
get.
yeah, I understand you're frustrated. I've explained it a few times. Our agency does not provide direct service. We're not service like social workers who have a caseload to support survivors. We take hotline calls for like technical assistance. We have 3 teams that focus on statewide level work, which includes supporting service providers through education and training. So training and educating direct service providers on best practices. We have a team that works in prevention and working with schools and young people on violence prevention work. And we also have a policy team that works legislatively on changing laws as well as internal programmatic policies and procedures that serve survivors and offenders of domestic violence.
Okay, I'm pressed for time.
We don't do direct service.
Okay.
We do more macro level work.
Okay, so I just wanted to make sure I understand, because what happens for years is I keep getting referred to places that don't help. Promise House
Right,
didn't
and I'm
help.
trying to avoid that by reaching out directly to the program that we have strong connections with to see if they can get you connected with a staff person who can help you.
Yes, so you can go ahead and call the
And
bride
if
places
they say
again.
No, then we will go from there.
Okay,
So,
good. So you will.
The next step is to just call and see what the deal is, and then I will call you back. Okay.
Okay, because I'm not, I want to be positive, but if they've been denying me services for years, along with
Sure.
dozens of other places, that's probably what's going to continue to happen until they get the consequences they deserve for doing so. So if they continue to do that, and if they continue to do that, you will continue to keep the. Okay, but if they keep continuing to do that, what they've been doing for years, you will assist me with finding a location that will help. Is that correct?
Sure, yeah.
Okay.
We'll keep working on it until you're able to get some support, okay?
Okay, so if you call these dozens of places, do you report to the police department or, okay, I'm sorry. I am pressed for time, so we'll continue to talk. I'm not getting services, so I just want someone that is a witness is all this. When you're saying that you don't have interaction with the police department or anything, you can't report it if they're denying me services, so there's evidence of that?
No, we don't call the police unless we're requested to call the police for a victim or survivor. If a survivor is denied services, I don't know that that's against the law. So it wouldn't warrant.
Oh no, I just want evidence. If you call all these places, these dozens of places, conspiracy to violate civil rights is something that the FBI investigates, and I'm wanting evidence of that.
we can cross that bridge when we get there.
Okay, I'm just getting information because it's very minute.
And then I will call you
the
back.
Information
Okay?
that I've been given. Okay, so I just want to make sure I understand. So if you so my question was if you were able to contact these places and they're denying services, a multitude of them, and I contact the law enforcement because I need proof that it's happening, that I'm getting railroaded. I just want to make sure that that would be okay.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
Yes. If there's dozens of places that have been denying me services, if you're calling these places that have been denying me services, I want to get proof that I'm railroaded. So I wanted to know if they, but we'll go ahead and venture out. But I wanted proof that I'm railroaded. So I wanted to report it to the police that if you call them and they're denying, continue to deny me services, I want the advocate to be able to report, yeah, she's getting railroaded. But I consistently get is the advocates that keep covering for it. So I wanted, if you're an advocate for the Texas Council of Family Violence and I'm getting railroaded and there's dozens of places that have been denying me services, I want to be able to report that to the law enforcement and with your assistance.
I don't know what kind of proof or evidence you would want. I mean, we can cross that bridge when we get there.
Okay.
I don't know what you would necessarily want. And again, if a program doesn't have the ability to provide you services, like if a shelter doesn't have room for you because the shelter is full, that's not.
No. I've already told you repeatedly that I'm getting railroaded. I'm blacklisted from services. I keep telling you that repeatedly.
Right.
They're denying me all services. Yeah, my break's almost over, so it's like you're not hearing it, but that's valid information that's pertinent if you're going to assist me. You're ignoring that.
I hear you.
Yeah, so I keep repeatedly telling you that he is railroading me and sabotaging me, and you would need to do that to properly handle my experience. If you keep ignoring that, that's like the multitude of the dozens of other people that have done, I'm not going to get the best service. So you need to know that when you venture out and calling these people, that dozens of places have railroaded me, along with the police department coming to intervene. And if you ignore that, I don't know how beneficial it would be for you to give me the services and, the help. So you do need to remember when you're calling out with people and when you're helping me and directing me that I'm railroaded. Okay?
Yeah, I hear those things. Let me give those two places a call, and I'll give you a call back, okay?
Yeah, and you said that you were going to get education on places that can help that when there's law enforcement and corruption. Yes. Okay.
Yes, I will look into those as well. So I have those three things. I will reach back out to you when I have some more information, okay?
Okay, I get off at 4:30, so and my next break is at about 1, so I can call you back. Okay, thank you.
That sounds good. Bye.
Bye.